2. What's up out there, Barbershop Sports Politics fans? We're in this thing again with a topic for you, man. Lil Duval's controversial comments on transgender. We ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna get into it. This is the controversial comment. We're gonna play it real quick and let you listen to it, and then we'll give our comments on it.
Say you met a girl and she didn't tell you she was a transgender.
That ain't a girl. I met a boy. That means I met a boy.
After 4 months, she told you I had sex, and then after
we not having sex. We not having sex.
Yes, after 4 months, y'all had sex, and she said, Duval.
This might sound messed up, and I don't care. She dying. I can't deal with that.
No, that's a hate crime.
I can't do that. Nah, dog, you manipulated me to believe in this thing. My mind, I'm gay now.
I do think
I'm gay.
No, you're not. She's a woman.
No.
Now, on.
All right, so that was the comments on, you saying he manipulated, being manipulated by a transgender. It was a preface. It was set up by DJ Envy. Said, say you were dating this person for 4 months. And then after 4 months, y'all have intercourse, and then after that, the person tells you that that she was once a male. What was your comment? So his comment was, I'm gonna kill him or whatever. So that's kind of interesting comments, but it's not something that I haven't heard before. So that's actually what's interesting about this. It's controversial, but I think I maybe have heard something similar to this in the shop and barbershops across the world, man. This is the shop, man. So we're gonna try to, kind of be free and talk on how we would hear how the average person would deal with this. So, Smoke Cliff coming in, man. What's your thoughts on these comments?
I mean, I don't know what else you would have expected. If you know anything about Lil Duval, I don't know what in the hell else you expected him to say. And you can, man, listen, what he said was he would have felt manipulated. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, he feels like you're taking something from him, that he didn't want taken from him. And that's his heterosexuality, He's a heterosexual male who has the right to be that, just like everybody else who chooses to be different has the right to be what they are.
Yeah,
so
his boyginity, he took his boyginity. Go ahead. What happens if somebody takes your boyginity and you're a straight male? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not a lot of things that you can honestly say that's pure in life, man. And that's one thing that's pure. If you're a heterosexual male, it's pure. There's no other way to be a heterosexual male but to live a heterosexual life. So to be robbed of that, I mean, to a heterosexual male, you can consider rape. I mean, you can consider it one of the worst things you could do, just like rape, just like a sexual offense. I mean, any sexual offense. It should, it should be respected. It's something to be, it's something to value to a heterosexual male. And I'm not saying anything against, the transgender community. What I'm saying is, if that's who you choose to be it, and you will be respected for it. I don't dislike transgenders or lesbian or people who choose to live, whatever life they choose. I just say, if that's what you are, be honest about it and give everybody a fair chance to know the real you. You know what I mean? No one wants to be fooled. Let me not speak for everybody. Me being a heterosexual male, I never want to be fooled into having a relationship with somebody. You know what I mean? So for me, that's where the line is crossed. Now, him saying he would kill, he would, that's how he felt. You know what I mean? I don't think the Breakfast Club the Breakfast Club didn't condone that. They were actually trying to educate him on to other things. But what he was saying from his point of view is, this is how I feel, and I can't say that how I would handle a situation like that. I just can't say how I would handle a situation like that. So him saying what he said, I didn't really feel. I feel like that's what a lot of people would say. You know what I mean? The majority of heterosexual men would say, or something around that. That around that, close to it.
Yeah, most heterosexual men that I would know would probably also kind of do this, have the same thought process on that or whatever. So that is that's a very interesting. But we live in the politically correct times today, so you can't really say something like that or whatever, because there's always things like that always come back to bite you. And though transgender and homosexuals are, I would say, less than 10% of the population, they have a very strong blowback if you are to cross them or say something that they feel that's out of line, which comes up all of the time. They tell you after the fact. We don't really have a transgender or homosexual handbook so that we can know the right responses to these type of things, man. So I don't even know what the right response is.
And I was just about to say, to a heterosexual male, man, it's never okay to say you would kill somebody. You know what I mean? It's politically, it's not politically correct to say, hey, I would kill somebody if this happened. But we all know people die every day. You know what I mean? So to say that, it's inciting violence or against, no, that's not what's being said. What he's saying is, in his own personal situation, how he would deal with a situation. He's not advocating for everybody to go do the same thing. He's just one man giving an opinion on what would happen if he was in that situation. We could take that and say, what if I had a daughter who was sexually assaulted? I would say I'd kill him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Am I wrong for saying I'd kill him? Because, that's just how I would feel in that moment. And of course I would want something to happen to the person who hurts or harms my daughter, something like that. So, it's you need to kind of put everything in context and not just rush to say, oh, he's against the change. No, he's talking about his own personal situation. He didn't speak in a derogatory manner against, the transgender community. He was just speaking on his situation. So that is, I don't think we should just go and say, hey, this is how we feels about everybody, or this is how every heterosexual male is going to handle every situation. It's just, sometimes there's no right answer for something that you don't understand.
That's definitely so, man. I actually was gonna try to open up the phone lines. I put a phone number up because what we trying to figure out is, what is the correct response for being tricked by a transgender. What is the correct response? The number is 469-708-9693. If anybody that is out there watching and want to give their comments on what actually is the correct response, I do not know what the correct response is, man. I am of the thought process that also that it might be a violent situation with that. I won't go as far as to say I kill him, but it might be a violent situation if I actually got put into that thing. And you know, and one part of this thing is that okay, DJ Angela Yee said no, you're not gay. If that happened, you're not gay. It's because they're a girl now. So that is a thing, a big part of what the homosexual and transgender community wants to say, that they identify themselves as male or female, and you should identify them as that too. So because they self-identify, because that person self-identifies as a female, then you should accept that. What's the name? But you know, I don't know how you should feel about that. Should she? Go ahead.
I mean, I put it to you like this: if you're a heterosexual male, something like whatever the other person feels like they want to identify shouldn't bother you, right? It's not about them being who they are that bothers you. It's when it affects you personally. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The next person being gay doesn't affect my lifestyle. You know what I mean? It doesn't affect me in any kind of way. But I have gay relatives. Some of my closest relatives are gay, lesbian. So, and I mean, do I judge them? How do I love them less? No. You know, I try my best to have educated conversations with them, and uncomfortable conversations, because there's a lot I just don't understand about why. But then what I do understand is everything the next person does is not for me to understand. You know what I mean? I want to be accepted for who I am. That's all I ask. So me accepting somebody else for who they are is you know what I should give, because that's what I expect. But I'm not portraying a different life. You know, I'm not portraying a different life, and I can respect a person who is openly who they are, openly, and not trying to deceive people, and not trying to, you know, live a double life. I mean, that's where I come from with it, you know, because it's a lot of people who are in the closet, maybe a fear of how people look at them, but I can respect the people who are out and gives everybody that opinion to judge and still live their life. Because me as a black man, I can't change being a black man. You know, walking out and seeing the way somebody sees me.
Say that.
I can't change that. I can't change that. But if you feel like you being a gay man, a lesbian woman is who you are, and that's how I see you in the world, there's nothing I can do to change that. That's who you are. And I can respect who you are, because that's who you're living and portraying to be in life. You understand what I'm saying? Now, sometimes, just like they say when black issues come up, or y'all are being too sensitive about this, well, we always say they aren't us, so I can kind of see it in the same sense. I don't live that life, so maybe they are offended by certain things that we don't understand. But
okay,
I don't live that life, so that's why I say we have to talk. Yeah, we have to talk to people, you know, in an educated manner.
All right, we had a caller call in. Are you there? Oh, okay. All right. I guess we lost that. We lost that first call or whatever. Hello, Smoke, you still there? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry, brother.
Go ahead. Yeah, I thought we had a caller. They called in, and on they kind of hung up. Whoever the caller was, try to call back. Call back again. You know, we let you in, and once you hear.
Yeah, we got a comment.
Once you hear, we got a comment. Once you call in, just say your name and where you coming from.
It says, this is from Keith, Tasted Black Dupree. He says, maybe you should talk to someone actually from the LGBT community instead of just straight people.
Yes.
He found her on Backpage, so he knew she was a transgender.
Who found her on Backpage? I'm sorry. I'm confused about that. This was a hypothetical question amongst a group of heterosexual people. So I guess we're just another group of heterosexual people kind of having a discussion on it. Any transgender or homosexual that want to call in and comment, for sure call in. We definitely want to hear that side of it. We want to hear that side of it. So for sure, if you want to call in and do that. But I definitely would like to hear from someone from the LGBT community. Keith Dupree, I'll say that. Keith Dupree, if that was you calling, call back and tell me what you think. You know what you think, what it is that you think that we should be said, because we're trying to get an answer. This is what this is about. I want to know what is the correct response.
Yeah, it's not about bashing.
It's not about bashing. This is not about not liking or being homophobic or anything like that. This is about us trying to actually come up, because there is no rule book. This is something that a lot of people want to. There is no rule book on the response to things like this. But this is changing times. 20 years ago, it wasn't a lot of people having surgeries like this, so they're coming in. Let me see. This is. All right, hold on. Let's see. Hello. Hello.
Speak up, caller. We can't hear you.
Hello. Hello. I guess I don't know. We having problems with the phone line. Whoever's calling it. Matter of fact, I'm just finna call the caller back.
Hey, listen. If you
call her back.
If you can't reach us on the phone, leave a comment.
All right. For the caller that just called from Jackson, Mississippi, I'm just gonna give you a call back. So if you got a call in progress right now, just hang it up. I'm gonna give you a call back. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, it's a caller, Barbershop Sports Politics, man. You called in, you wanted to make a comment?
Yes, this is Keith Texas.
This is Keith?
Yes.
Okay, then, Keith, so what's your, I guess our question right now is, what is the correct response to being tricked or not told by a transgender?
First of all, a lot of the times, these men are going after these transgender women. It's not the transgenders seeking after the men. A lot of these times, these men are going on Backpage. I've seen it for myself. They would go on Backpage. They would come to the club, or they would wait in the parking lot of the club, or they know where gay people are hanging out with. So many times it's not the being tricked. A lot of times these men are out there actively seeking the transgenders.
All right. So yeah, okay.
And many times, and then they would, like I said, they would go on Backpage and they would pay for dick or ass or whatever like that, and then they don't want to pay, and then the transgenders, they get upset and they fight, and then that's how many our transgenders have been killed over the last couple of years, because the men do not want to pay. It's the men that are seeking.
Oh, okay. So you talking about some prostitution going on? Now, we ain't really talking about this.
Prostitution. You have men, you have straight men that are married men. They won't maybe meet a person like me because I'm a boy or I'm feminine, but they will meet trannies. You have many men that are tranny chasers.
Okay. Well, this. I understand what you're saying, tranny chasers. Now, somebody that actually is chasing trannies, we're not. This is not actually the question about it. So I mean, if you're out there, if you're straight, we're talking about straight males meeting, because this was the question that was posed on the Breakfast Club. Straight males meeting transgenders and not being told until after intercourse happens. Do you think that as a transgender, do you have a responsibility to tell them if you think that they did not know?
Yes, we do. I mean, I'm the deputy leader of the House of Decree, so we have a lot of transgenders in our family, in our gay family, and things like that. So yes, we do tell them that they need to tell the dudes. You don't have to tell them. You don't have to tell them in person. At least tell them in text message. You have to let the person know to give the person an option. You just don't spring it out on them on surprise, because it can go both ways. It could be you can get hurt or the dude can get hurt. So yes, you should be able to you should tell the person that you are a transgender.
Okay.
And that's the right thing to do.
So
yeah, but he just said what he said was exactly what Duval. Like, if you listen to what you just said, you said that it could go both ways. So it's best to tell them exactly who you are and what you are. So what my question is, how do you think, or why do you think the response is to a man not knowing that they're in a relationship with a transgender bothers them?
I'm sorry. I hosted, so our guests, y'all can't hear each other, so both of y'all are kind of speaking at the same time. The question, I guess I had a question. Would you say that a person that didn't tell until after intercourse, they are actually wrong?
If a person didn't tell, well, it's up to the dude. I mean, the dude could tell the person that, they touching and stuff, and if they didn't stop. You have many times in many situations, I'm talking about from experience, where you have dudes, they will mess around with a tranny, and then as soon as they get their nuts, and then it comes back to them, reality hits them that they're still straight or they're married or have a girlfriend, they will either kill the tranny or hurt the tranny, but they would still participate until after they get their nut. So it's wrong on both parts.
It's wrong, but so if you knowingly, that's the thing about it is where we are kind of having
wrong
a disconnect.
Is wrong, man.
Yeah, knowingly and unknowingly. So if they're knowingly sleeping with trannies, then that's just what it is. That's what they're doing. They have
come on. Okay, let's say unknowingly. If you're not knowing that you're sleeping with a tranny, how would you not know it unless you like getting head? But if you go through the whole intercourse thing, and then why are you saying after the nut, like, oh, you didn't know this?
Okay, see, I'm kind of, I guess we're kind of confused on the details, because I'm assuming that we're talking about someone that has actually had the surgery where.
No, let me, from experience, a lot of black trannies don't get the bottom surgery.
Okay.
But some of them, you have dudes that are here that like to get fucked. Especially married dudes, straight dudes. They like to get fucked. They don't want to be.
Okay. I don't know the age appropriate stuff on Facebook, man. We live on Facebook.
Okay,
I don't know what the age appropriate.
They like to get penetrated. A lot of these guys that are straight, that's why they go after the trannies.
But what about the ones who don't?
He said, "What about the ones who don't?" That's what our Smoke Cliff had.
Who don't get the bottom surgery?
No, who don't.
That's what I'm saying.
Knowingly.
What about the men who get taken advantage of when they're in a situation or in a relationship and they're not knowing?
You should tell the dude, you can tell the dude through Facebook, you can tell the dude through text message, just for your safety. That's what we tell our people all the time.
To go ahead and tell them beforehand. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I think you're agreeing that it should be something that's put out there initially, ahead of time, so that it's not a point where it comes to where it's a lot of emotion, and then it's a person may have gone too far for what they are mentally prepared to be able to handle, and they on that situation. But
like I said, but you have some people that get into these relationships with these trannies, they have girlfriends and wives, and then.
But we don't disagree that happens, though. We don't disagree at all that happens.
Yeah, we don't disagree. We don't agree. We don't disagree with all of that. We don't disagree with that. We understand that is going on. We understand that they're undercover people. And this is really not a question about undercover. This is about being tricked. Because I guess Ray Lewis is actually in the news right now for something else. Actually making comments about Colin Kaepernick, but he actually almost went to jail for something what you're talking about, where the person didn't tell them that they were a guy, and some type of way the person got killed. They say it wasn't Ray Lewis, but
hey, like the thing, no, don't ask, don't tell. If you don't ask, I mean,
I don't know. I don't believe this. This is not a don't ask, don't tell situation. I can't agree with that one. This is not a don't ask, don't tell situation. Because
This is a full-fledged conspiracy.
This is full-fledged, like you said, conspiracy. Where
but it matters what the situation is. If the person met at the store, in a club or something like that, yeah, I understand that from seeing. But if you meet online, I mean, you have to go through people's pictures, and then it's just the back of your mind. If you have it in the back of your mind, it's like they say, there's nothing wrong with asking.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely. But thank you. What's your name, man? Keith. Hey, man, we support. We thank you for calling in and supporting. We hope you continue to watch our videos, man. And if you but we're gonna go ahead and get off the phone line. Appreciate you for calling in.
Thank you.
And we're just gonna keep on kind of running on this topic, man. Like I said, if you have any other topics that you think that we should cover, because there are a lot of issues that are dealing with things like this that we don't actually are abreast of. So if you have topics, we would love for you to just send them to us.
The majority of trans women that were killed last year were women of color.
Okay. All right. Well, so just send us any topics that you think that we should cover, and then we'll get on top of those, man. I appreciate you for calling in. Wait, you from Jackson?
All black lives matter.
Yeah. Yes, we do. All lives matter. Hey,
all black
lives.
Gay, straight, and everything else.
Yeah. So, man, all right. I sure appreciate you calling in, man. And please continue to call in and support us. All right. Man, that is interesting, I guess, to hear. That was the person that called in. So we know that there are actually we understand that there are different parts of this or whatever, but we're talking about unknowingly people, and that is a difficult situation where you're not knowing about someone being of opposite sex, of the same sex as you or whatever, and not telling you until they have intercourse. So that was actually the question for the Breakfast Club. So, but man, I think that's pretty much all. Smoke, do you have anything else you want to say on this situation?
Yeah, I appreciate our caller Keith. I just wanted to say that we don't want to discourage anybody in the transgender community. We just really want to have an open conversation about things that educate everybody and enlighten everybody. So if you have a comment, if it's anything you want to say, this is the platform to say it on, so we can have an open dialogue with each other about everything that affects us. So it's not to discourage anyone. It's,
Yeah, we don't want. Hopefully, we didn't say anything discouraging to transgender or homosexual or the LGBT community. So, but this is a conversation I think that we should be having, because these type of things are actually kind of are affecting our community, and so we definitely want to kind of have an open dialogue on things like that, man. So for everybody else out there, man, appreciate y'all for watching our shot. Please subscribe to our channel, and subscribe to the Facebook channel and the YouTube channel. You can find both of them under, if you search for Barbershop Sports Politics. You can follow me on Twitter at Young Lion Leader. We're gonna, this is the first time we open up the phone lines, and we want to we're gonna try to You know, try to have different segments every week that we kind of open up the phone lines and kind of get your opinions and your thoughts on what's going on. But that is our topic for today. Smoke Cliff, what you got to say to these people, man?
And I just want to say I appreciate everybody, man. You know, if I wasn't doing this right now, I ain't gonna tell y'all what I be doing, but I just appreciate y'all for being y'all listening and tuning in, man.
All right, then. That's Barbershop Politics, Sports